This is Off Topic. And now, to your host.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Off Topic. As you guys can see, Kadeem and I are joined by a friend of the show, Jenna. Jenna, how are you doing?
I'm good. Welcome back.
I like that you welcomed us back to our own show, but we appreciate you being here again, of course. Kadeem, how are you?
Doing good. Trying to stay warm.
So, Kadeem, quick prediction. Are we going to get actual snow or not? Because up here in Ohio, we're predicted to get some inches. What are you expecting?
I like dusting.
Yeah, we just don't get snow like we used to.
Yeah. It's
Jenna,
right.
any thoughts on the snow?
I think it's going to be light also. I don't think it's
Okay.
everything that they're saying it's going to be.
Then I'm going with 11 inches of snow is my prediction. Jenna, I saw recently you watched the movie Seven for the first time with Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman. What'd you think of the movie?
I loved it.
Can you give us a little background? What was your favorite part? Yada, yada.
So now that I've seen it, I have for sure seen the end scene of what's in the box on social media, like as a meme or something. So that was cool to see what was actually in the box and what was going on. Really great storyline. I feel like it wasn't predictable. I was like on edge the whole time. Didn't really know what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Good ending all around. I really liked it.
Yeah, it's one of the more popular American crime thriller movies of all time. I think it's probably Morgan Freeman's best role that I can recall, without saying Shawshank, obviously. Kadeem, you rolled your eyes at me. What do you think?
No, that's just a big statement for somebody who's been in a lot of movies, but it might be true.
Oh, I mean, besides Shawshank, I mean, Shawshank's his best, I think, but I think I like him as that detective, older veteran role that he portrayed in that movie. What are your thoughts on the movie Seven?
I saw it so long ago that I really don't remember it that well. I might have to watch it again and get an adult appreciation for it.
Yeah, it's a good one. Like I said, I started that movie film review. I did my first review on that movie, so that was fun. Obviously watched that with Jenna, so that was cool. Kadeem, Jenna's actually taking over the show this week. What are your thoughts on that?
I am excited. I'm ready to be blown away here.
And Jenna, just to bolster your ego a little bit, people were pretty excited about your first visit to the show.
Yes, they were.
So try not to let them down this week. I'm going to pass the reins over to you. What do you have for us this week?
So I feel like the first time I was on the show, I played it safe, and I feel like you guys were wanting like super crazy theories from me, and I didn't give that as well as I could have. So I feel like I have some good stuff tonight.
Awesome. Okay, well, yeah, go ahead.
So my first one is based on a video that was posted online in 2009, and it features two characters. A 48-year-old man who dies in a car accident, and God. And he's kind of having a conversation with this God figure throughout the video. And I think to make it make the most sense, it's better to just watch the original video, and then we can discuss it.
Awesome. So based on last week, we're not doing as well in the God department, so maybe this will help. But go ahead with the video, Jenna.
You were on your way home when you died. It was a car accident. Nothing particularly remarkable, but fatal nonetheless. It was a painless death. The medics tried their best to save you, but to no avail. Your body was so utterly shattered, you were better off, trust me. And that's when you met me. What happened? Where am I? You died, I said, matter-of-factly. No point in mincing words. There was a truck, and it was skidding. Yes. I died. Yes. But don't feel bad about it. Everyone dies. You looked around. There was nothingness. Just you and me. What is this place? Is this the afterlife? More or less. Are you God? Yes, I'm God. My kids? My wife? What about them? Will they be all right? That's what I like to see, I said. You just died and your main concern is for your family. That's good stuff right there. You looked at me with fascination. To you, I didn't look like God. I just looked like some man or possibly a woman. Some vague authority figure, maybe. Don't worry, I said. They'll be fine. Your kids will remember you as perfect in every way. They didn't have time to grow contemptuous of you. Your wife will cry on the outside, but will be secretly relieved. To be fair, your marriage was falling apart. If it's any consolation, she'll feel very guilty for feeling relieved. Oh, so what happens now? Do I go to heaven? Or hell or something? Neither. You'll be reincarnated. Ah, so the Hindus were right. All religions are right in their own way. Walk with me. You followed along as we strode through the void. Where are we going? Nowhere in particular. It's just nice to walk while we talk. So, what's the point then? When I get reborn, I'll just be a blank slate, right? A baby. So, all my experiences and everything I did in this life, won't matter. Not so. You have within you all the knowledge and experiences of all your past lives. You just don't remember them right now. I stopped walking and took you by the shoulders. Your soul is more magnificent, beautiful, and gigantic than you can possibly imagine. A human mind can only contain a tiny fraction of what you are. It's like sticking your finger in a glass of water to see if it's hot or cold. You put a tiny part of yourself into the vessel, and when you bring it back out, you've gained all the experiences it had. You've been in a human for the last 48 years, so you haven't stretched out yet and felt the rest of your immense consciousness. If we hung out here for long enough, you'd start remembering everything. But there's no point to doing that between each life. How many times have I been reincarnated then? Oh, lots. Lots and lots. And into lots of different lives. This time around, you'll be a Chinese peasant girl in 540 AD. Wait, what? You're sending me back in time? Well, I guess technically, time as you know it only exists in your universe. Things are different where I come from. Where you come from? Oh, sure. I come from somewhere else. And there are others like me. I know you'll want to know what it's like there, but honestly, you wouldn't understand. Oh, you said, a little let down. But wait, if I get reincarnated to other places in time, I could have interacted with myself at some point. Sure, happens all the time. And with both lives only aware of their own lifespan, you don't even know it's happening. So, what's the point of it all? I looked you in the eye. The meaning of life, the reason I made this whole universe, is for you to mature. You mean mankind? You want us to mature? No, just you. I made this whole universe for you. With each new life, you grow and mature and become a larger and greater intellect. Just me? What about everyone else? There is no one else. In this universe, there's just you and me. You stared blankly at me. But all the people on Earth, all you, different incarnations of you. Wait, I'm everyone. Now you're getting it. I'm every human being who ever lived. Or who will ever live. Yes. I'm Abraham Lincoln. And you're John Wilkes Booth too.
You got it. Yeah.
I'm
So when it,
All right.
So that's the egg theory. The egg theory is that
so the egg theory is every single person you've ever known and will ever know was you.
Okay. So I actually really enjoyed the video. I thought I enjoyed the guy's voice and I enjoyed the following along. The egg theory is pretty fucking wild. So like, I mean, while we were watching the video, I was like, okay, egg theory. And then I just looked up like the basic definition of egg theory. It was proposed by the U.S. novelist Andy Weir. He's known for writing The Martian. It argues that the universe is made entirely and exclusively for you. You are literally the main character of the universe. And yeah, the entire universe was created as an egg, and you're the main character. You're all of humanity. Kadeem, I can see you have some thoughts. Go ahead.
Now that's trippy.
It is trippy.
In a way, it's crazy. In a way, it's like kind of enlightening. In a way, it's kind of beautiful. I guess I like the idea of all of time running kind of concurrently.
Yeah.
Where at one point he's, how he said, oh, well, now you're going back to be a Chinese peasant girl, right? So I kind of like the idea of time being that fluid. I don't know what to say about this.
Wild.
So when you think of reincarnation, you think of like going to the future. Like in your next life, you're going to be in the future, but they had a twist on it, and he was someone in the past.
Right.
Yeah, it's a gigantic twist to not just the reincarnation theory, but like the whole, I guess, theory of existence.
Right.
That everything just exists. That everything just exists as you.
Right.
I don't know. It's trippy.
Yeah, he wrote, every individual you encounter is you in another life. Your joys, your struggles, and your lessons in each life are all a part of a bigger journey.
And you don't have to say them out loud, but I'm sure we can all think of some people we really can't imagine as us.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people I just can't imagine being me. But I guess that's, different experiences, different upbringings, different,
So,
really weird.
I mean, let's just break it down like smaller. What are your guys' thoughts on reincarnation?
Like actually or like conceptually?
But pick your lane. What lane do you want to go down?
So like actually, I think when you die, you die.
Yeah.
Conceptually, I think it's a nice ideal, a comforting ideal, that when you die, like nobody ever really dies. They come back as something, for the people who believe like, oh, if I'm, terrible in this life, I'll come back as like a snail or something, shitty in my next life. Like, I think that's a good universal law, I guess, or a good way to try and promote justice. What about you, Jenna?
It's hard to wrap your head around it. Like, I don't know. Like, do I really think that when I die and I come back, I could be come back as an animal or something? Like, I feel like there's different ways you can think about it. Do you just because that'd be like your soul. Like, do you have a soul and then it transfers into something, or does it restart? I don't know. I feel like you could think about it in so many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like when you die, does it just turn off and restart? Or do you just keep living in something else? You just transfer your soul into something else. That's how I picture it.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't have all your memories and stuff, for better or worse, you're essentially dead.
Yeah.
Like, if I wipe your slate clean, you don't have any of your memories and you don't have your personality. So that's not you. That's now, that's the video show. Like, that's a fresh life. Right. So you have essentially died. It's just someone else will be conscious in your form. Or that.
Yeah. So go ahead.
I also read that, like, there was a theory about will talk about the egg theory that when people say like you have a twin flame or like a soulmate or something out there, or you have like a deja vu experience, like all of those are like experiences from you in like a different life.
In the video,
those
when
spirit experiences or coincidences or something, you know.
When he said, I could interact with myself, and he's like, "Oh, it happens all the time." I'm like, "Oh, like wouldn't that be cool if like that was your best friend? Like it's just you a little differently."
Mm-hmm.
But I guess that's also everybody you hate too. So that's valid. The only thing is, I think so many people struggle with like main character syndrome and thinking the world's all about them. This is saying like, no, like actually the world is entirely about you, which is just a little funny to me.
It is. Also, I read like when you get through every single life you possibly could live, you ascend to a godhood, and that's where the gods come from. Like, and about the theory.
That would make sense when he says you keep growing.
Right.
Like after every life you keep growing. So like essentially at the end of time, you've now become one of them.
Right.
Which, I mean, that's if we were taking this a fictional route, that would be really cool for a race to reproduce that way. Like, or to, you know, continue to live on that way. It's just making universes that eventually create more of themselves. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So overall, I think this is a really cool theory. I hadn't heard about this, you know, sector of reincarnation before. So I do think this is pretty cool. I don't believe we get reincarnated, but I thought it was a really pretty cool theory, Jenna. What's next for us?
Next is the 27 Club.
Okay.
Either of you heard of that?
Nope.
I think is this supposed to be when famous people die?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I feel like I had heard, like that sounded familiar to me, but I didn't really know the story until I looked into it. So the 27 Club is basically a list of musicians, artists, actors, celebrities who all died at the age of 27 and are all said to be connected.
Okay.
So there's just a few different theories about why they're connected, if they're even connected. And the list of people are all said to live like high risk lifestyles, which when you hear the list of people, you kind of like associate them with that. One of the most popular theories about the list is that these people sold their soul to the devil to obtain fame, a talent, success in any type of way. And their debt would then be paid at the age of 27 when they then die. The list was started when Kurt Cobain died in 1994.
Oh, okay. I didn't know he was that young.
He was 27. And
she killed him.
When he died, within 2 years, Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison, Jimi Hendrix,
Jimi Hendrix was only 27?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, keep on.
Robert Johnson, those are just some of them, all died within 2 years of each other. So that's when the trend started. And then since then, do you guys want to hear like a full list? You could look it up. There's
give us like 10 names that we would know.
Amy Winehouse.
Okay.
Well, I just named a few of them. And then Amy Winehouse. I don't really know some of these people, like just when I heard the name the first time. Alan Wilson, Rudy Lewis, Dee Boone, Linda Jones, Chris Bell, Aaron Hernandez.
Shout out. Let's go.
Pat Tillman is another football.
I'm sorry. I wasn't expecting those two to be on here.
Well, I didn't know. Aaron Hernandez was another suicide, and most of these are OD. Mostly all of them are ODs, suicides.
Yes.
freak accidents, just weird deaths, I guess, or they died on purpose, basically.
Whoa, real quick, because you brought this up, and I think this is cool, and obviously I'm a fan of his music. Mac Miller in 2015 came out with a song. The quote, the lyric is, "To everyone who sells me drugs, don't mix it with bullshit. I'm hoping not to join Club 27 Club." And then Mac Miller died when he was 26 after consuming counterfeit oxycodone pills. So he almost made it to 27. That's crazy. All right, keep going. This is cool.
Fall Out Boy also has a song about it. There's a lot of musicians have actually written songs about it or mentioned the 27 Club in their songs. So, what do you guys think? Do you think it could be connected, or do you think it's just a big coincidence? Do you think the 27 Club is a real thing? Because obviously these people are dead, they can't tell us if they're in the club or not anymore.
Kadeem, you can lead.
Okay, so there's two options here. There's the fun route and the not fun route. I'm gonna go to fun route. Stuff can only sound like you can only really have so many coincidences, I guess, before something seems weird.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And some of those people were so famous, I didn't know they were only 27.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why I thought Jimi Hendrix got to be in like his 40s or some shit before he died. So it's pretty interesting. I'd heard about it, funny enough, from a video game. That was the only way I knew about it. But it's...
Oh, I read that there's a video game.
But it's really, really... It's weird, to say the least.
It is really weird.
Considering they're all...
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. Considering they're all ODs or like suicides, are they dying on purpose at 27, or did they sell their soul to the devil at one point and they just know at 27 they have to die, and then it becomes a suicide or an OD? That's, or are they killed somehow? That's really the theory part of it.
I don't want to be that guy. Like, I don't want to be that guy. Here's my thing. It's like, I would be closer to that if there were more, like some of those names when you said them, I was like, who? You know what I mean? But I guess they were still famous enough to be recognized and to be put on here. So
yeah, that's true.
I mean, I wrote down like 20 of them, and these all also musicians, like rock and roll musicians or jazz musicians, blues, like from like not really our time. So I think it kind of makes sense that we don't know some of them.
So like, it would be, I think I would be closer to buying into this if there were less like overdoses and more freak accidents.
Okay.
Like, I don't know how old she is, and I'm just picking a name at random. But like, if Ariana Grande was 27 and like a bridge collapsed on her or some shit, I'd be like, yo, that seems like how the fuck. But like, when, and it sounds shady to say, but like when somebody does a lot of drugs, it kind of feels like that's going to catch up to them at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that one feels less suspicious.
It is odd that drug abuse or not, they all die when they're 27. It's still
that is crazy.
A few of them, one car accidents. A few of it, like 3 of them that I read they were poisoned, like by their girlfriend or.
That's insane.
Something like that. Jim Morrison, who he's the Doors.
Okay.
Do you guys know what that is?
Yes.
Okay. It's like my parents' time for music, I feel like.
There's a good biopic that Val Kilmer portrayed Jim Morrison. It's pretty good.
But he didn't have an autopsy done. So just like weird things. Like how many people are out here really getting poisoned, So it's just, and they're part of the club. So it's just weird.
I also think it's probably easier than you think to poison people. like you don't have to use like when we think of poison, we think of like secret agents. Like I could fill a cup full of,
like bleach and shit
and kill it. That's still poisoning you. So,
like, I guess you're right, because when I think of poison, I think like a little bitty vial. With
you're thinking like somebody's just like if I could poison somebody over time by just feeding them bleach and they would never know. It would just fuck them up slow over time. So, I mean, I think it is possible, more possible than we always just seem to think of the spy way to do it. But,
Jennifer, I'll stand by that. If I would be more bought into it if it was more freak accidents. Now, you did name a couple, but if it was more freak accident type stuff, I'd be a little.
Were electrocuted.
Who?
A few of them were electrocuted.
That's getting me closer.
Yeah, I think this is fun. I mean, unfortunately, not fun because they died, but like it's a fun theory that gets brought together by a lot of coincidences, a lot of drug abuse, bad decisions, angry partners, things like that. So I think this is fun. Kadeem, like a while ago, didn't you have one where a jazz artist sold his soul to the devil in a similar way?
I think she named him Robert Johnson.
Yeah.
So yours was tied in a little bit differently than that, but yes.
He was poisoned.
So I have a question for you guys. It's sort of on topic, sort of not. You'll hear a lot of people say like, oh, this famous person, whether it's an actor, a musician, or whoever, like say they sold their soul. Is that something y'all believe can happen?
Go ahead, Jenna.
Please answer freely.
I mean, I think no, because I don't really know how one would actually do that. Like, it's not an object you can just sell. It's not a physical object that you can sell. So really, it would either be you're kind of either signing yourself up to die if you do that, right?
So
that'd be the only
you're also signing up for an extended period of time where you're uber talented and uber famous and rich.
No, but meaning like that's the only thing you can actually like give away is like your life. Like you would die in exchange for that.
Like, I'm saying, like, do you think like if some shady individual came to you with just like $100 million cash and said, "This is yours. I just need you to prick your finger and sign with blood that we own your soul," would you be worried like you're actually giving something away? Or would you be like, this jackass gave me $100 million for a drop of blood?
I would not be worried. No, I don't think you can sell your soul. So no, I think that idiot just gave me $100 million.
Okay. How do you feel, Jenna?
I think no. I think the only reason I'm like second guessing that is because of everything you hear about the Illuminati and all these celebrities coming out and saying they were offered that and they turned it down or something. But I think no.
So for me, when I always thought that selling their soul is a lot more figurative. Like, when you get if you want to be famous, like maybe you have to sleep your way to the top, or you have to take roles that are a little more demeaning or something like that. So it's like you're purposely going against who you are in order to get fame, So that's how I always look at selling your soul. But there are some people who actually think like, they've made a contract with Satan or something and that their eternal soul is gone in exchange for their life of luxury.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way I thought about it, but I was just taking it more literal since we were bringing it up this way. Also, as a non-believer, I don't think you can, just contact the devil and
I don't
make a
think
contract.
That's the problem. So, Jenna, so the shady guy walks up to you, Jenna, prick your finger, 100 million, sell your soul. Are you taking it?
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, probably, yeah.
What if he says, okay, and what if he says, it'll be collected at 55? You still taking it?
No.
What?
I have.
What are you going to do after 55?
You're such an ass.
That's in 23 years. Like Lila would still be pretty young, you know.
Yeah, but she's also inheriting $90 million.
That is.
Jesus.
I will say I'm 30, so
You know how
25
appreciative
years
she'd
of
be?
having $100 million. It's kind of worth me dying.
She's set up forever. Kenley's set up forever.
If anybody out there wants to offer me $100 million, I'll let you kill me.
Yeah, I mean, also, what's that story of like? There's like a story or an old like tale where death was chasing the guy, like from place to place, trying to get his soul back from him. I don't know. I just think of like traveling from place to place, hiding, and like I don't know. It's fun. But yeah, I'm definitely signing up for that. No, absolutely.
That reminds me of the TikTok trend. Did y'all see it? It was like you get immortality and fame or immortality and wealth, but if this snail touches you, you die. So it was like showing people like 3,000 years in the future, finally letting the snail out the jar and stuff. It was funny.
That's good. All right, Jenna, you got any other theories for us? You got one more at least?
I do have one more.
All right, let's hear it.
You guys are gonna hate it.
Oh, I can't wait.
It's pretty absurd.
Oh, better.
Fire it up.
Okay. Do the Simpsons predict the future or do they control it?
They predict it.
That's great. Let's go.
But when you think about it, is it really possible to predict some of the things they've predicted? And if so, like, how do they know some of those things if they're not the ones controlling it?
I'll tell you, I've not heard this side of the take before. I've heard that the Simpsons predict it. I've not heard that they control it.
What if that's why, they can predict everything because they're the ones making it up? And when I say the Simpsons, obviously I'm not talking about the cartoon character.
Yeah, the writers of the Simpsons, yeah.
So the writer of The Simpsons, Matt Groening, is said to be what?
I'm picturing him as the most powerful man in the world. It's like whatever I draw.
You know what's hilarious about this though? Like you bringing up this theory, I saw a picture of like their writing room in just a living room and them all sitting around in a bunch of like old style chairs when the show first started. It was literally on my timeline today. And then you're bringing up this theory. So good advertising by you.
They predicted I was going to talk about it. So the show's creator is, I don't actually know if this is proven. Saul said he's said to be a Freemason. Is that proven?
Strong allegation. Strong allegation out of the gate.
So there's like theories about Freemasons, alone. And they're in The Simpsons in the show. There's like a play on their own Freemasons called the Stonecutters, and Homer like joins the group. And so it's said to be like he's joining the Freemasons in the show. But it's just, I guess in the show, the Stonecutters like control the mass media and they have the ability to like control global influence. And
I don't want to tank it.
Why didn't you bring up all the times they've predicted stuff correctly and like all that stuff?
Probably because
we know that.
Well, I thought you were going to give us some examples. That's why I was confused.
Oh, I mean, they predicted a Nobel Peace Prize. They've predicted a presidency. They've predicted, weird, like a bunch of things. I feel like we all know things. COVID. How can those things be predicted?
That's good. I like that.
Okay.
Also, because you asked earlier, the creator of The Simpsons is a Democrat, and he's funded and given away a lot of money to campaigns. Al Gore, John Kerry, a lot of Democratic nominations.
That helps. Okay, so I want to have fun with this, right? I want to have fun with it. the logical part of me says that when you have, 25 episodes a year for 35 years, you're just kind of eventually going to take some shots that kind of pan out.
Man, they've been right a lot, though.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. You have 25 episodes a year for like 35 years. You're going to get some stuff. Some stuff is going to happen the way you drew it up, right? But like you said, they have been right a lot. Yeah. But I almost wonder now, like, it almost feels like some stuff is a meme with how perfectly it lines up with The Simpsons.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think, Jenna?
It's just hard to like wrap my head around like how they can predict that many things and get it right. And it just be a straight guess. Like at some point you're like, how are you doing that?
Yeah. So how specific would someone need to predict something before you get creeped out?
I mean, like times and dates.
Not involving you personally, but
times and dates.
Okay.
Like if I went back in the past and it was the year 2000, I say September 11th, 2001 next year, 9 a.m. plane hits. And that happens. I mean, people are going to probably set me on fire on a cross. You know what I mean? Like, so it's got to be that level of correct.
Yeah, because you could have stopped it. So
actually, we know for a fact that if I would have stopped one of the planes, the other would have still hit, and the building would have blown up to the one that the plane was supposed to hit. The building still would have fell, so it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, I mean, they predicted 9/11, like just crazy things like that. COVID. I think COVID is a super crazy one because COVID hit all of us out of nowhere. And I would have never imagined like our world to be shut down and us all quarantined. That's something super crazy that happened. And it was in a show, like a cartoon at that. So I feel like at this point it is kind of hard for me to believe that they're just guessing.
Okay. So are you saying they predict it or control it?
I mean, I think they've predicted them because here's the thing. Like one of the ones that they're famous for is predicting FaceTime. They couldn't have created FaceTime. I'm sorry. Like they're just two writers. They're not creating FaceTime.
But remember like when I told you, like remember we did this a couple of weeks ago and I said like the theory that people in real life get or that things are put in cartoons. So people get a little more used to them. And you did not like that idea.
I mean, I'm looking at the list of the things that they've predicted. They predicted the Higgs boson. They predicted that in 1998 and came true in 2012. That's pretty wild.
But okay.
The NSA spying scandal they predicted in 2007 came true in 2013 with the Snowden thing. I mean, they're doing pretty. The Ebola breakout they predicted in 1997 came true in 2014. I mean, they're doing pretty well. I don't know. I don't think they. I just think they're just. I think they're really good at what they do. They're really good writers.
I just feel like they're.
I don't really think that. I believe it's the writers themselves predicting everything, and more that everything that kind of gets thrown into our world or everything that's happening maybe gets shared through them to be like more of like an influence and get out to the mass media. I don't know.
No, keep going with that. Keep going with that. I'm trying to follow you here.
I feel like it's kind of a big deal when I think it's like a trend now that the Simpsons are predicting things, so when they're putting something out in their show and then it ends up happening, it's like a huge deal. So I don't know. It's hard. I'm trying to get it out. I don't really know how to say what I'm trying to say.
Are you saying like basically like people who do control the world kind of tell the Simpsons
Yeah.
what to do, so that way we see it from them first.
Yeah. They're using the Simpsons as like an outlet to get things out.
Testing the waters.
Yeah.
I got you.
They predicted Donald Trump would be the president.
Yeah.
They will do that.
And it said,
yeah, I mean, I just think they're really good at what they do, but that's just me.
Siegfried and Roy's tiger attack, like that was a random tiger attack. How do they predict that,
But like,
but here's the thing. It's also like
work with tigers. Like a lot of people said, man.
And they're also the most famous people that work with tigers. They're like,
yeah.
So them making fun of them with a tiger, they could just get lucky. That one could be.
That's what I'm saying. I think they just throw so much stuff at the wall that occasionally some stuff sticks.
I don't know. It sounds like you think the Simpsons run the world, Jenna.
No, she thinks that they run the world through the Simpsons. That's
the Simpsons is just the soundboard for everything else.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. I mean, I don't hate it. I think it's another fun one. I unfortunately just think they get very lucky.
Okay, so before we wrap this up, I have a question for you both.
Yes.
It's completely unrelated to this. I saw this on TikTok, and the replies absolutely shocked me. How many owls would you need to see in a day before you were creeped out by it?
This one's good. This one's very interesting to think about. Jenna, what are your thoughts on how many owls you would have to see before you're freaked out?
Like just in a random day, how many owls would you need to see before you're freaked out?
I mean, I couldn't even tell you the last time I saw one owl. So,
just to jump in real quick, Jenna.
3? What?
I'm kind of freaked out when I hear an owl. So if I see, go ahead. How many do you think?
I just said 3. I'm saying 2, just because I haven't. Now that you ask me, I haven't seen an owl in a really long time.
Kadeem, I'm gonna say 2.
2 is the correct answer. I saw people saying like fucking 12. If I see 12 of anything that's not a person in one day, I'm gonna be scared.
Like that's 12 owls is a lot of fucking owls.
No, 12 owls is a shit ton of fucking owls.
Like here's like just because I'm like reading Harry Potter. Yeah, there's a shit ton of owls in Harry Potter because they deliver messages. But could you imagine if there was just owls flying around all the time? It'd be kind of weird.
I just want you to imagine you're getting up in the morning to go to work, and it's like as you're walking to your car, you just see 12 fucking owls sitting on your house.
You're marked for death.
Yeah, something is wrong.
Yeah.
Your time has come up. Could you imagine if you had to call your boss though and be like, dude, there's 12 owls sitting on my house. I can't come out. I gotta stay in. Do you think they would take that? Do you think they take that?
I'll be 100% honest with you. If I ever have my own firm and somebody calls and says, I can't come in today, there are 12 owls outside, I'd say, I'll see you tomorrow.
Take the week.
I'll see you tomorrow.
You've got bigger issues.
Yeah. Don't come in with that shit behind you.
Don't bring that here.
Okay.
Actually, we're going to have to let you go.
If we change it from owls to crows, how much does the number change?
More. Crows are more common.
How many crows would you need to see in a day before
a murder of crows?
How many is a murder though? That's just
I forget. I think it's 12.
What about
we just had something really weird with crows happen like a month ago. So this is a weird question. I'm saying over 5.
It's like fucking 3. It's 2 or 3 still. If I see 2 or 3,
you've never seen crows together picking at something?
I don't mean like I mean like seeing them separate throughout the day. Like you're doing something, there's a crow. Then I don't mean like you just see like 2 or 3 eating something on the side of the road. I mean like you're going to get lunch, there's a crow. You get out of your car for this, there's a crow. You look out your window, there's a crow. Like how many separate times in a day can you see a crow before you're like, what the fuck is going on here? 2 or 3 is the correct answer.
I would say more. It would definitely be more.
Is it still 12?
No, I'd say in a day, Because it depends on where you live. So for us, I guess more than 4 is probably crazy.
If you see 4 individual crows, please do not text me. I don't want whatever you have coming through the airwaves.
Okay, just because I found this really interesting when I looked it up. Did you guys know that the West Nile virus has killed 45% of American crows since 1999?
How the fuck would we know that?
I looked up how I was looking up how many crows are in a murder of crows, and it pulled up some interesting information about the West Nile virus. Sorry.
You just pulled up crow death statistics.
How much cooler would roosters be if they were owls, though? Like an owl instead of a rooster is your wake up call.
Oh, it's fucking scary.
Yeah, but roosters suck.
Thank you.
At least owls have like, if you see one owl, you're like, that thing's fucking majestic.
Here's the thing. Have you ever heard an actual rooster? Because I haven't. I only saw those shits on cartoons.
Yeah, but you live deeper in the shit than we do.
I have family that lives in the country, so I've heard a rooster.
So like you've actually like been asleep and heard that.
Yes. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. They're loud. They're fucking loud. I think it'd be cooler to hear an owl.
To speak on crows, like right by my house down the street, I was at a stoplight and I said something to Kinley about there being crows on the corner. They were just sitting there like by the light, and it looked up at us. I got this on video. It looked up at us and flew towards my window and almost got in my car. Yeah. Like flew at Kinley. And then it went on top of my car. I like took a video. The crow was just on top of my car.
Why were you not just driving off as fast?
You've been marked.
Had a light by the mall.
Fuck that light.
You could die at any time. You could legitimately die.
Were like looking at us, we were crazy.
Yeah, you probably had a dark shadow over you.
Crows are said to have like a photographic memory. They can like remember faces.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Fuck that. Okay, the answer is 2, more than 2 crows. Okay.
Why are you asking about the crows and the owls?
The owl thing's been popular online.
The owl is popular is a TikTok thing. So I just asked it. And then because we all said 2, I just wonder if y'all feel differently about crows.
Crows, I've seen more of than owls.
Yeah.
You know, it's also crazy about how owls can turn their head like 180.
It is pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. Owls are sweet, but yeah, if I see more than 2, there's alarm bells are going off.
Yeah, I'm glad we could agree on
that. Okay. Well, guys, do we have anything else before we get out of here today? Jenna, anything? Kadeen, great job today. Glad you brought up the owls there at the end. Jenna, hell of a job today. Thank you for joining the podcast. As always, we appreciate you. Guys, this has been Off Topic. And again, if you have any theory at all, any urban legend, anything, hit us up on social media. Send us an email. Our emails are always in the show notes. Hit us up. We will bring it up on the podcast. We will talk about it. Thank you for everybody who keeps listening. Thank you for the support. Shout out to everybody who hits us up and talks to us about the show. We will see you guys next week.
Can't wait.